Hey guys, Joanna here. So I know it's been a minute since I did a video, and well, that's okay because I've had my nose to the grindstone. Since I got out of treatment back in December, I've had a lot of free time on my hands, and I use that time to heal. I have a PET scan coming up next week, and I just I've got so much stuff going on that it's awesome. So let me just tell you what I got going on. So I have a book that I have been working on writing for the last 5 years, finally with an editor. I finished it at the end of last year, but I just didn't move forward with it because I got so sidetracked by everything. And to be quite truthful, like I had almost thought about giving it up because it had taken so long. And my friend Laura, she had this group at a treatment facility that I was helping her to run, the group, not the treatment facility. And it was called Because I Said I Would. And it's for this organization called Because I Said I Would. And I finished my book because I said I would. And I finally sent it over to an editor, and I'm retaining the editor today. I got the message back, and I'm very excited about that. And I'm very grateful for my friend Laura for encouraging me to help her with this group because, you know, because I said I would, I wrote a book. And that's pretty damn impressive to me. Because when I was a kid, I wanted to be a writer, and now I can actually say I'm an author. Not just a writer, but an author. And that's pretty cool. And so, let's see. I had been taking this group of classes from the Tony Robbins and Chloe Madonna's training center. And I was taking it because I wanted to heal. And I really didn't think about what I would do with it outside of using it to help myself heal from all of these mental health issues that I had going on. And, you know, I was tired of taking meds, and I was tired of what the meds was doing to my body, which was devastating. And by taking these courses, like, I became somebody that I wasn't before, and somehow, some way, I know exactly how I did it. And but you know, looking back, like, it feels like it was an answer to prayer for me. It was totally an answer to prayer. And you know, like, the small part of myself says somehow, some way, I beat depression, and that's no longer part of my story. And I beat mania, and that's no longer part of my story. It is a pattern that I have had, and I know what happens. I know what it causes it, and, you know, like, I beat it, and it's freaking awesome. And, you know, like, I stayed sober this whole time, which is also freaking awesome. And, I managed pain without being on, like, opiates and other, you know, crazy stuff. Not to say I didn't consider it, because I did consider it, but I did it without it. And, like, that's freaking awesome, you know? So, like, absorbing that, and starting to deal with some of the trauma, because being a cancer patient is traumatic. Like, what has to be done in order to save yourself, in my case, to save my behind, was traumatic. Like, nobody should ever have radiation there. And, you know, like, I did, and I made it through, and that was awesome. And, I don't ever want to do it again. And I still did it. And I'm dealing with, like, all the trauma and letting that stuff out of my system. And one of the ways that I'm letting it out of my system is by moving forward. So, like, this program that I told you about, that I just started from myself, I actually completed all of the assignments to get a certificate in strategic intervention while I was laid up and had nothing else to do, which was incredible. And I've been working out. My hips and my legs have taken a severe beating as a result of the radiation, and I'd already had some hip stuff going on because of the medication I was on before, because, you know, let's be real about this. When you're on mental health medication, it is chemotherapy, because it's chemical therapy for a biological or emotional issue. And for me, the side effects meant that my heart had a problem, and my thinking, like my retention had problems, and you know, my tendons and my ligaments and my joints, they all had problems. And thankfully, by the grace of God and my own efforts and the help of a lot of people, my problems are pretty minimal, and I don't have to say that I'm disabled, because I'm not. And I know that the issues that I'm having right now, they can be overcome, and I'm in the process of working that out. And so in the middle of working all that out, like, I was thinking I want to go back to my business, and I've been keeping my business, and I've been doing lots of really good, awesome stuff. And I was invited to interview with a company, and it offers me, like, opportunity beyond my wildest dreams, which is a total universe, God, spirit thing, because I just never ever thought something so awesome would happen to me. So here's the awesome thing, is that I took on a position. I still have my company. I'm still able to do my company. I'm still speaking and leading workshops and all of that stuff. And I now have a position at a facility that does what I'm about. So let me just say what I'm about. A friend of mine asked me not that long ago, like, well, what is your ministry? And because, you know, I'm a reverend also. Probably the most irreverent reverend you're ever going to meet, but I am a reverend, and I do very much believe that there's something that is bigger than us, and when we tap into it, we become big, and we become awesome, and that's our power source. And then it's open, it's available to all of us. And, you know, like, being a reverend just means that I'm a guide. It doesn't mean that I'm perfect or any of those things. It just means that I'm a guide, and I can tell you what I did, and hopefully I can help you to find your path, and we'll learn along the way. So it means I'm a student, and it means I'm a leader. Yeah, because that's what a guide is. It's a leader. So when I was asked that question, I was like, well, I don't know. And then I was like, you know what? Here's what my ministry is. My ministry is recovery and emotional fitness for mental wellness. And the company that I now get to work for, in addition to doing all my other things like authorship and speaking and these vlogs, does exactly that. Like, their sole purpose is to heal, and I am so blessed. Yeah, it's gonna take a minute. I walked into one of the rooms yesterday, because yesterday was my first day. I walked into one of the rooms yesterday, and as I was walking in this room, I had this overwhelming sense of, I've been in this room before, and I don't, you know, I just didn't recognize the room. And when I walked in the room and I saw the back door, I was like, I have been in this room. And I had been in that room when I was very early in sobriety myself. And, you know, like, if you are in sobriety, you know that it takes a long time for you to be able to remember stuff sometimes. And from being out there, and then from early recovery, sometimes it takes a while. And so I just was like, I've been in this room. And I had this crystal clear thought of, and I know exactly when I was in this room. And I remember thinking while I was in that room, gosh, wouldn't it be nice to be invited to to carry the message and to speak in this room. And yesterday, so like for me that was like, oh, wouldn't it be nice? And yesterday I was informed that not only am I invited to speak there, I'm being paid to speak there, and I will be speaking there on a pretty regular basis, like several times a week. And that is not something that I ever consciously prayed about. It was something that I was like, oh, wouldn't it be nice? You know, so like, here's the thing that I want you to take away is that our thoughts are powerful. And I could have made the choice to just do nothing and just like veg out and heal. And that would have been perfectly okay. However, that's not who I am. And that's not how I want to live my life, right? So I got better. I did all of the work, both to be sober and to make it through the treatment for cancer, because I want to live my life. And for me, living my life means being the biggest, baddest, boldest version of myself. And like letting life flow through me instead of it getting bound up because I'm afraid. And so the way that the fear works when it's a thought, because it is a thought, it's not really something real, it's a thought. The way that the fear works is if you don't move forward, then all of that stuff that's good in you gets trapped inside of your own skin. And when you can just start to let go a little, you can start to breathe a little, and then the thoughts start to change and you start to move things forward. And that's what I've been in the active process of doing, is moving things forward. You know, by completing my certificate, by accepting this new position, by turning my work over to an editor. I've made the decision to keep moving forward and to be the biggest, baddest, boldest version of God incarnate I can possibly be. Because here's the thing, like, if I'm made in the image and likeness of God, then that means that all of me, the stuff that I cannot get rid of, even when I want to, that I think is a problem, is probably not a problem. And it's probably what God would have me be, because that's the way that God made me to be. And so the thing I want you to take away from this is that your thoughts are powerful. And you can choose to feed the beast that lets you and everyone around you free, or you can choose to feed the beast that keeps you stuck and isolated and alone. And for me, I choose to feed the beast that makes me bigger and makes me more useful and puts me in a better position to serve others, because that's what I was put on this earth here to do, is to serve others. And I truly believe that the secret to living is giving, and our thoughts hold the key to that. So I'm going to figure out what to do with this vlog, because I really enjoy the interaction that I've been able to have with so many people about you know, emotional fitness and making it through tough things and finding gratitude and just like doing this deal we call life. So if you guys have suggestions, I'm open to suggestions, because, well, frankly, I want to find a way to make this vlog fun and exciting and sustainable, not just for me, but for other people. So have a great day, and remember, like, no matter what's happening, whether it's good or it's bad, it's all good, and it's all God, or it's not over. So have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon.